Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? I was telling people, look, I do pay attention to what's going on in Vietnam all the time. And there are all kinds of great things happening for Vietnam. Their economy continues to grow. And more countries are turning towards Vietnam and away from China. There's a great article that covers the growth of Vietnam, as well as why these companies are turning away from China and the potential for an economic boom. I mean, let's put it this way. Vietnam has been doing pretty good for the past 30 years. It really has. If we could just get them away from the damn currency manipulation. And as I go over this article, you're going to understand that why it's an issue, currency manipulation. Let's get into this. Before I get started, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, go check out our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. To my subscribers over there on Pimpy's News Network, this could be you. Or even better, this could be you. All 15 squares full, which led to a 64,000 jackpot that I got. That's right. If you're a subscriber on Pimpy's News Network and you pay $5 or more per month, this could be you. Once a month, we will select one name out of the network that pays $5 or more on their subscription, and you will automatically be entered into a drawing. If your name is selected, we will reach out to you via email to let you know you have been selected. We will let you know what day we will go live on air from the casino. Put in $100 on your behalf. And from there, everybody could watch live to see if you walk away with hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and possibly even tens of thousands of dollars. We will all see live on air what the outcome is. That's going to be the fun part of this whole thing. So come on over and join Pimpy's News Network. $5 a month is all you have to pay to be eligible for the drawing. And again, if you're selected, we will do this live on air. You will see what the winner gets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on over there and join us. I look forward to it. It is going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to it as well. So here you go. It says, why more European firms are choosing Vietnam over China. A combination of geopolitical tensions and higher costs are pushing large firms to look for an alternative production sites. Vietnam's strong economic performance in recent years has drawn the attention of European firms. You see what this article is saying is that the cost of living in China is going up. Their wages are going up. And what do firms do? They find other countries with cheaper labor. And then they move over there. Yeah. Talk about some really effed up stuff. Look, if you run a business and you're reporting to the shareholders, obviously you want to turn a profit. I get all that. But this is the one thing that Trump is trying to stop by adding tariffs, making the companies come back here to the United States so they can provide jobs to our citizens. But look, if you don't have that type of leader in office, this is what will happen. Look what's going to happen to China. It says Vietnam was one of the few Asian countries that did not experience an economic contraction during the coronavirus pandemic in 2020 and 2021. This year, Vietnam's GDP is expected to grow around 5.5%, according to the World Bank. The expected GDP for Iraq is not that much bigger than Vietnam's. Vietnam's economic performance during and after the pandemic has captured the attention of some major European firms. Germany's automotive supplier, Brose, which has 11 factories in China, is currently deciding between Thailand and Vietnam for a new production location. Thailand and Malaysia are the other two locations where production and labor costs are really cheap. In December, Denmark's Lego announced it will build a $1 billion factory near the southern business hub of Ho Chi Minh City, one of the largest European investment projects in Vietnam today. It currently looks as if, in particular, medium-sized companies are increasingly striving to enter the Vietnam market or are putting their activities out of China on a broader basis. So why are companies leaving? Remember, everything is made in China because of the cost of production and labor is really cheap. But that's not the case no more. Since European firms are looking for alternatives to China for several reasons. In recent years, Chinese wages has risen, making China less attractive for low-cost manufacturers. See, this is what that globalization is all about, man. It really is. They don't care about what country they come from or who they're screwing over as long as their profit margins are big. It makes it worse when their companies become so rich and powerful that they're able to buy our politicians who pass regulations and laws that make it harder for other competitors to join in this fight. The average annual wages in China rose from around 5,120, I'm guessing this will be the Chinese currency with the C there, in 2010 to 13,670 in 2020, according to Moody's Analytics. On the geopolitical front, China's relationship with the European governments deteriorated in 2021 when the EU imposed sanctions against China for its treatment of the Uyghur Muslims minorities in the Xinjiang region. Beijing then issued its own sanctions on EU officials, and a previously agreed investment pact was put on ice. In 2022, Beijing's ongoing zero COVID policies has thrown global supply chains into disarray as production sits still in lockdown cities. This has also shaken the confidence of the EU firms in China as a reliable production site. Yeah, that's a big thing for China, man. There's a lot of countries complaining that their idea of a lockdown is serious. They have entire cities on lockdown. They were boarding up, chaining, saran wrapping huge buildings with occupants in there and not allowing people to leave. It was terrible. Shanghai has only just recently reopened after months of intense lockdowns, while parts of Beijing, the capital, have also been closed for months. They literally would not let anybody out of their buildings. So if you had factories over there, companies over there, there's a good chance it was affected because of these strict lockdowns. All this has dented the economy, and warnings have been raised that China could fall well behind its GDP growth targets this year. In the first 3 months of 2020, China's GDP grew by 4.8, below the official annual target of 5.5. That's according to the World Bank. Even prior to the pandemic, we have already seen businesses, particularly those in the labor-intensive manufacturing segments, starting to relocate out of the mainland China to other low-cost countries in the region, including Vietnam. At the same time, Vietnam has become a more attractive destination for investors. Salaries are lower than China, and Vietnam has the fastest growing middle class. The communist government is also investing heavily in infrastructure. So this is a lot of great stuff for Vietnam. Unfortunately, we're not seeing any type of change in their currency. That just goes to prove that they are manipulated, and this is why they manipulate their currency right here, this article here. Don't forget, Trump's trade war with China contributed to a big part of this. So the EU and Vietnam ratified a free trade agreement in 2020, which included an investment pact. That EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement bilateral trades rose by $49 billion in 2021, up from $20.8 billion in 2012. The year's talks began over the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement. A report by Germany Trade and Investments, a research and advisory platform, points out that these pacts also give European firms easier access to public procurements in Vietnam. This includes public-private partnership projects, a favorite of local authorities under the EVIPA. Maximum foreign shareholding in commercial banks increased by 30 to 49%. So Vietnam has been opening up more and more to the international community. They used to be really strict. So why is China still essential? Whether Vietnam will replace China as a manufacturing option remains to be seen. But as an extended or additional investment location in addition to China, or as a part of a wider China Plus One strategy, is definitely gaining ground. China is too big and too advanced to not make any part of an Asian strategy. Vietnam is not yet on par with China as far as education level, skilled labor and infrastructure, and logistics are concerned. Mahler of the German Asian Pacific Business Association noted that European is decoupling from China. Noted that European decoupling from China depends largely on where the business is located. German companies, for instance, are much more reliant on the China market than most other European countries. German exports to China more than 99 billion in 2020. That's pretty big, compared to 19 billion from France, according to the OEC data. It is still unclear whether German companies, especially the large corporations, will significantly reduce their activities in China. This would be a prerequisite for countries like Vietnam to be able to count on a large scale new investments. And I can see that happening. I can see that taking place. It will also be dependent on the types of industries in question and the long term businesses in higher value add manufacturing, such as advanced engineering and smart applications, will still consider mainland China as a production hub due to its supply chains. Yeah, but for how much longer? Because Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam continue to improve their infrastructure. Remember, Vietnam is building one of the largest technological hubs right on one of the main bays and rivers that go right into Ho Chi Minh. It ends by saying, but lower margin manufacturing, which requires low cost and low sophisticated ecosystems, will likely continue to shift out of the country to keep production costs low. So this is what I'm talking about, why these countries manipulate their currencies. They want a low value currency, so they have cheaper labor and cheaper production, and this draws in a lot of companies from overseas to invest into their countries. So it's these types of stories I read all the time. It's one thing after another, talking about how Vietnam is a place to be for production, manufacturing, and new business in the future. Their economies are getting stronger. A big part of that is because of the lower labor cost. That's why you don't see any rush for them to increase the value of their currency. Unfortunately, they can manipulate it all they want because we don't have a president with any backbone. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.